everyone, in this video I have a scrapbook layout to share with you with the Thompson's Craft Supplies design team. This is my first project with the August Celebrate Good Times kit. I will of course link that kit down in the description box, and also the video share I did with this kit if you haven't seen it already and if you are interested. But I'm starting this layout with a 12x12 piece of basil marshmallow cardstock that I got from the store, and the background of this layout was very much inspired by a recent video by Mari. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I will link the video that inspired me for this. And basically what she did was use some artist tape to create these stripes, and then blended Distress Oxide over them, and then obviously taking the tape off and you get all the perfect stripes underneath. So she used artist tape, as I said. I'm not, because I don't have any, so I've just used some wide washi tape, and then I'm just blending my colours over the top, just kind of like she did, except she did different colours per stripe, and I've got one colour per stripe because I kind of wanted a rainbow effect going on. It's not like technically the right rainbow colours because I didn't use an orange, because the orange colours I had weren't quite right to match the rest of the kit, and also I created too many stripes for the colours that I had chosen, so I had to put pink at the end. So it's not technically a correct rainbow, but it's close enough. The colours I'm using are Abandoned Coral, Squeezed Lemonade, Cracked Pistachio, Broken China, Shaded Lilac, and oh, I've forgotten the pink one. Was it Picked Raspberry, or was it Worn Lipstick? That's it, Worn Lipstick. But they'll all be down below in case I've got any of those wrong, which I probably have. So yes, just blending those over like that. Really, really fun to do because you know, like the stripe underneath is going to be there. And then I'm going to go in with my pink there. I was having such a dumb day that day, like creating that extra stripe, and just, yeah, I think I made a lot of mistakes on this layout, but I'm not sure I left many of them in. And then just peeling that washi back off. That is the most satisfying thing, by the way, just peeling that washi off and having that perfect straight line underneath. Oh, it was so enjoyable. I highly recommend it. Even if you haven't got the right project to do it, just do it on a scrap of paper. It's so much fun just to peel it off. Anyways, so my picture there, by the way, oh, I'm just going to spray on some water there just to get the oxidization effect, just a little bit. I think the difference is when Mari did hers, she sprayed before she lifted the tape off, but I was kind of wanted a little bit of blending going into those perfect lines kind of thing, just a little bit. But yes, oh, and now I'm going to do some stenciling. This is a stencil from the kit, and I'm using some Bow Bunny glitter paste in the colour Graphite, and I'm just going to have one banner or one line of bunting on each one of my rainbow stripes. It was quite difficult to do, obviously, not to get the glitter paste in the other bits, and I did fail at that slightly. You'll see when I lift it off, there's tiny little dots and patches that, you know, have ended up there because I've stenciled slightly too much than I needed to, but it's fine. At first I didn't mind them, but I do end up covering them up towards the end of the process. You can just see them, they're little patches of glitter in the wrong place, but yes. My picture isn't on screen, but I will explain it now while I have the chance. It is basically a picture of my two eldest sisters. Well, it wasn't technically on their birthday, but around their birthday. And they are blowing out their candles, not on a cake actually, on a big plate full of chocolate eclairs, as you do, and there's my mum holding it out, and I just thought it was a perfect birthday photo to scrap with this kit. So yes, eventually that picture will be on screen and what I'm talking about will be relevant. Oh, there, when I made some errors of like the glitter paste, those lumps were too big, so I did just gently scrape those off. And while I put that aside to dry, I am just going to use this cut apart and cut it apart as you do, but I'm also going to do some fussy cutting. That card there, you can see that says Let's Celebrate You. I wanted to use that as my title, so I'm going to fussy cut that out. And then also those cakes where the center one says Make a Wish, and then also that record player with all the little music notes and stuff. I did actually, after I cut this one, I realized that was a really nice frame, and I've just cut straight through it. I could have kept that and used it for something else. So when I cut the other two, I actually, before I started the fussy cutting process, I did take a metal ruler and my craft knife just to cut the frame section out first. I did that off camera, I'm afraid, but you might see them link. Oh look, there they are. Those frames I pre-cut. I thought I might use them in this layout. I don't end up doing that, but I might use them eventually. Yes, fussy cut those pieces. Then this little rainbow sort of strips piece there, again from that cut apart sheet. I thought that would be nice to put on, so I've just cut it in half, cut banner ends in it, and I'm going to just put those on there. I wanted more sort of little bits and pieces all over the layout, so I'm taking the Kaisercraft stamp set and just there's like little confetti things and little sort of firework things and just sort of fun celebration kind of themed little stamps in there. So I'm just going to stamp those on. I stamped the first lot with stays on, and then I was like, that's fine, but you know what would look better is if I did some embossing. So with the second stamp, I've embossed it with this black sort of glitter embossing powder. There's like rainbow glitter inside, so it does look so pretty when you've melted the embossing powder. Now, because of the oxides and various other reasons, a lot of that embossing powder stuck to the paper, so that's why I'm just sort of brushing it off there. Now, most of you know, well, why didn't you use like the embossing little powder cushion thing? Honestly, the reason is I don't like it. Like, the texture of it really freaks me out, and I don't like it on my hands. I'm one of those people, like, certain textures I just can't with them. I need to get one of those like anti-static, anti-sticky like pen things. I forget what they're called, but I need to get one of those so I don't actually have to hold the thing that has the weird flowery substance. It just bleh. Have you got one of those things that really freaks you out like that? Because that is one of mine. So anyway, long story short, that is why I didn't use that, and that is why I have to then brush off all the excess embossing powder before I, yes, set it with the heat tool. And then the second embossing powder I used here is called like a hollow super sparkle thing. It doesn't look as good on the white as it does on the colours, and you can't really see it very well on camera, but it is a very nice holographic sparkly embossing powder basically. And yes, so with all that set, I've put my little banners on there. I decided to back my photo because the photo itself was colourful. I did consider printing it in black and white, but then I changed my mind and I don't remember why. But anyways, because the background is obviously so colourful and there's lots going on, I decided to actually use black and white paper to back the photo, because then you've got that like separation between the background and the photo. So this pad I'm using here, I think I got it from the range, but it was some time ago, and it has just these really lovely black and white and some pink and black as well, and they're all embossed or spot UV textured papers and stuff. I put the pink on just to separate the two black and white papers because it was a little too ow my eyes with the two of them together. And yes, and then I'm just distressing the edge of it like so. Then before sticking that down, I'm just going to fiddle around with all those bits that I fussy cut, and I'm going to take some of the ephemera from the kit. I'm mostly using the pink paisley, what's it called, confetti wishes that was in the kit, just because it all worked together so nicely and really worked with my background and stuff. I pulled out that record that says happy birthday to you, because then I could put it with that record player that I'd fussy cut, just very appropriate. And you know, they're blowing out the candles and I'm fairly sure we sang at them. I'm pretty sure we did. But then my Let's Celebrate You title that I'd cut, it just wasn't standing out quite enough, so I just did my technique I do on basically every layout now, is to take some ink and a blending tool and just go around the edge. The ink I use is the Lawn Fawn ink from the kit. I have the colour Forget Me Not, which is a really lovely blue, and I blended it around the edge of that record as well, because the pink and the blue just, yeah, together works so nicely. So yes, I decided to put that record next to the record player in the end, because it just was the obvious thing to do, and it was, yeah, I just really liked them together. And I've got that big cluster up the top right of the photo that I just, you know sometimes when you're really satisfied with something you've done, I was just like, yes, I like that. Well done, me. And yes, so I'm putting everything down with tacky glue, because it's Distress Oxide and it's not like heavy mixed media in the background. Just using the tacky glue is fine. I didn't need to get out my my gloss gel medium or anything. And then I stuck down those two little fussy cut cakes, and then I'm just using these two little pieces again from that cut apart sheet. One says blow out the candles, very obvious why I'm using that one, and I got that one with the little daisies on it just to give that blow out the candles one just to ground it a little bit so it wasn't so floaty. And again, I've gone around the edges with the ink again, and then I thought there needs to be another little phrase piece up the top as well, just to sort of balance it out. So I just went with Older and Wiser, because why not? And then instead of doing any journaling or anything, or doing journaling on the back, I've just taken the Pink Fresh Studio Alphas from the kit, and I'm going to spell out R and R's 40th. R and R's because their names are Rachel and Rebecca, and they're twins, by the way, in case that wasn't already blaringly obvious that they're my sisters and their birthdays on the same day or whatever. So anyways, I went with R&R rather than Rachel and Rebecca because, well, two reasons. One, it would have taken up an awful lot of room on the bottom of my layout there, and it may have drawn too much attention to itself, but also I would have used like all my vowels in my alpha set there. So yes, maybe a lame reason, but it's kind of honest why I did it. And obviously I didn't have an ampersand or anything, and I didn't want to write out "and", so I just did a little plus sign, and I put the TH of 40th in the black as well, because it just, yeah, it would have been too much using the alphas. And then sequins. I love my sequins. These sequins from the kit, I forget then, it was orchid something, wasn't it? Anyway, it's just lovely purples and pinks and golds. And what I did was what a lot of scrapbookers seem to do on process videos, where instead of, you know, doing them one by one, I put them all down and then glued them on, like figured out where I wanted them first and then glued them. And I actually think that might be a better technique than I have been doing for the past however many months. And just there I'm going in with some Nouveau glitter drops in Sherbet Shimmer. Oh, I actually said it right for once. And I was using those to actually cover up a lot of that black glitter paste that went in the wrong places. So there's lots of little bits of it, but it kind of goes with the whole confetti theme and everything. And then I kind of wanted something else on the layout just around the edges, but I didn't want to do like a border around the whole thing. So I did some little like lines around where I'd done that R&R's 40th thing, and then I thought I need to balance it out at the top. So I stamped the date, or well, the date of their birthday, not technically the date of the photo, but you know, close enough. And then when I did the lines, I did them so wonky, as you just saw, and I was like, oh, I have ruined this whole layout, what have I done? So to fix it, I just chopped like 1/8 of an inch off the top of the layout, and obviously the lines are still wonky, but they are not quite as wonky as they were before, so I think I got away with it. And obviously it doesn't matter that it's not exactly 12 by 12 anymore, no one's going to care. So yes, with that little final mess up, this layout is complete. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I had a great time doing this. I highly recommend doing the thing with the oxides. It's so much fun, or any inks that you've got lying around. And yeah, okay, links as always in the description box below. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me out. And okay, I'm going. Thank you again. Bye bye.